So this is a continuation of negotiation, the videos on commonalities in negotiations, and one of the things that helps to find negotiations is what kind of common food your party likes to eat, and maybe consider the common places where they like to visit or they come from. If there is a common interest, you might end up with a better deal. If both of you are, let's say, are married and with kids, the other party who is also have family, you might have more common ground. Joint solutions. Look for the solutions that both parties can contribute. That way, it's not just a solution that's created by one party, but by both parties. You can define problem in writing and look at it from different angles. Consider substantive problems that may be present. Generate alternative solutions. What are the options even in a longer distance? Look at the common goals and objectives. Look at the validity of the position. Also, the history of relationship is very important. That might makes an importance. Look if the other party has a tendency to do distributive bargaining. What are the settlement points? You can also consider at this point the cost of termination of negotiations. We can also look into the other party's expectations and what kind of tactics they have used in the past. It's important to see what the opening offer is, stand, and what are the initial concessions. If the party makes the first offer, which is way far from reality, perhaps there is no reason to negotiate further. There is no, even if you negotiate a lot down, you still end up with a terrible deal. So we will discuss in the next interview in the next session the role of concessions and how the final offer works. And we'll look into the sub processes like anchoring. For example, why do you need to anchor to a particular pricing point and where you stand? So you can always go back, and that might hold you back from any other deals. We will discuss the winner curse. That's basically when someone gets used to win all the time and they don't even consider losing. So that has also some consequences. That they do not manage their expectation realistically. They get used to win all the time. And what's good about it and what's not. Small number laws and overconfidence. If being overconfident is helpful, or you can end up with a terrible deal otherwise. What are other conditions? Reactive conditions. And what are the good words that you use at negotiation table that might help you to close the deal, and what are the bad words that actually, when people hear those, the deal might be broken. Justice, ethics at negotiation table. Let's look at the end result. What rules of ethics are there? Social conflict and personal ethics. Some people have strong ethic, and some people are quite flexible, and some people have confidence in their, come from different parts of the world where different things are ethical or not. There are different negotiation strategies, obviously based on gender, and how to overcome the sales techniques. We will look into the way how to beat low ball tactic. Basically, that's a tactic when someone basically offers you a price way cheaper than any other competition, and when you're no longer looking at any other deals, they actually offer you actually not so great deal. But initially, that's how they eliminate the competitors, and how to be beat kind practices. There are also practice when another party is extremely kind and polite and very kind, very nice to you. And but at the end of the day, they want to charge extra premium for being so nice. So how you can resent that and dealt with this. So you're still not going to end up with a terrible deal. What to deal with misdirection whenever you try to address a serious point, they just take you to another direction. And how to deal with a high voice. Some people use very high voice and speak very loud, and that's just to have them shut down. People sometimes submit to their deal, which is not the best way of dealing with it. Also, as far as tactics, we can deal with silence. Many professional negotiators use a tactic of silence when they just shut up and wait for you to say so, and once you speak, they take advantage of that. So that's a technique, and it could be dealt with. Avoid responsive when addressed later, avoidance, and when to forget and forgive. They don't curly honor. By the way, strategy is actually they don't forgive, and they just pretend to forget, but it's actually used the later day. Just when vengeance, the best dish when it's served as a cold dish. Dismissal and power judgment. When to balance and when it's not to be balanced. So there are ways how to anger and being loud and fair being used in negotiations, and what's the difference between being a positive person at the negotiating table and to be neutral. Why compromises is bad, and what are the conflict management available there. So